And I believe in Matt Reeves. Like, again, this
man,
Planet of the Apes, a legitimately good movie. When
who would have thought?
Right.
Who would have thought that was going to be a thing?
Like, it's a masterpiece. It's a masterpiece that got better each movie. That's what makes it difficult. The third one is better than the first one, and that is almost impossible to do.
It's got to be one of the better trilogies. Again, no one was asking for it, and it landed on our laps. It turned out to be brilliant. Yeah, I agree.
I think it's a top 3 trilogy. Honestly, I think I have it at number 3. I think I have Lord of the Rings 1, Star Wars 2, and then
Indiana Jones
3. Actually, no. I think I got Planet of the Apes number 1 because that was actually good for 3 movies. Star Wars, no, Lord of the Rings because they were 2.5 good movies, and then Star Wars was about 1.5, 1 3/4 good movies.
See, I think that the Lord of the Rings to me is the perfect trilogy, right? But except for one thing, you could make a strong argument that it's not a trilogy, right? Even the books were all written as one. The Lord of the Rings was one book. When Tolkien released it, it was one book.
Right.
It was only the publisher who cut it into 3.
Right.
He didn't want them to do that. And when they gave it the names, the Fellowship, the Two Towers, and then Return of the King, he hated those names. He didn't even like those.
Right.
So it's really one piece. And when they filmed it pretty much all together. So it's really one book, and you could even argue one movie cut into 3 perfectly, right? So it's got a real advantage over most trilogies. What's really impressive about the Planet of the Apes trilogy is that it never started out to be a trilogy, and yet it did exactly what you just said. Each one built on the next one to become better and better, and it just finished. Everything finished so well on that series.
But going back to Batman, you forgot to include Batman in the Christopher Nolan's Batman in your top.
You know why I don't consider that one as one of the? I consider it what you call it? The Dark Knight. The Dark Knight. I think stands out, but The Dark Knight Returns was not good, and I feel like it's a movie that's 2.5. Like, it's 2 good movies out of 3. So it might be slightly higher than Star Wars a little bit for me because I adored the first one. Batman Begins is my favorite Batman of the 3 in that one, but The Dark Knight Returns was so rushed. And it made no sense. Batman came back from not being able to walk, and then he broke his back and got fixed within like 3 months to climb up this impossible scale of a wall to come back to Gotham inexplicably with no money, which didn't also make sense. How do you drain somebody of their stock market prices at the stock market exchange and not have fraud protection, and then somehow get back to Gotham with no money and no contacts in time to save a bunch of police officers that stupidly sent everybody into a cave? Like, it was just so mind-bogglingly nonsensical to me. I hated every moment. And the Tom Hardy character was literally the least of the issues of it. People talk about, I couldn't understand. No, you can understand it fine. Like, just listen. But the whole storyline, where even Christopher Nolan knew he didn't want to do this movie. You know how I knew he didn't want to do it? Because he made that stupid Blake Robin reference. So whenever I put it into the trilogies, that movie takes a lot away from the whole trilogy of it. And then I also realized The Dark Knight was not as good of a movie as I thought. Heath Ledger was amazing in it, but the movie itself, not like good. Heath Ledger.
He's being blasphemous.
Oh, them fighting words, Gibbs. Them fighting words.
He's being blasphemous.
I can handle you paying that on The Dark Knight Rises. It's The Dark Knight Rises. All right, I love that movie, but when you start talking about The Dark Knight, fighting words, my friend.
Look back at that movie. take away Heath Ledger dying and Heath Ledger out of that movie. Outside of that, nobody else matters in it. Nobody else was really good in that movie. Think about it.
Yes, I've seen it 100 times. It's one of my favorite movies.
All right. Going back to the
Aaron Eckhart is great.
Okay, Aaron Eckhart, he was good. He was
so
good.
That's two. So was Christian Bale. I've said Christian Bale was good. Michael Caine was good.
Was that good. I don't think Christian Bale was good.
He was. He's English, but he was still really good, right? And is it Maggie Gyllenhaal?
Well, Maggie Gyllenhaal?
She was better than whatever her face was, Mrs. Cruz from the first one.
Over Maggie Gyllenhaal. I prefer Katie Holmes over Maggie Gyllenhaal. Over dead ass. Like, yo, Maggie,
I'm praying for your soul. I'm praying for your soul.
She wasn't.
You think she wasn't a good fit? You thought Katie Holmes was better than Maggie Gyllenhaal.
Katie Holmes was dry, but I at least believed like there was somebody going after her.
Dear Lord, we pray now for the soul
not anybody that I was like,
blasphemy against Christopher Nolan.
She can go. Like, I was like, yo, I'm not sold on this chick.
Katie Holmes was she was. Anyway, she was the worst casting ever. Worst casting ever. Maggie Gyllenhaal, she wasn't brilliant, right? But you know when she's about to die, and she's in the warehouse.
That scene, she acted her butt off. That's true. In that scene. It was Maggie Gyllenhaal.
On my 77th viewing of that movie, I might have even shed a tear when she blew up.
Let's remind our friends to please click on the subscribe button and hit that notification bell so you know when we have new videos out.
Subscribe!
Die.